Okay, we're back, and I'm gonna kind of combine all these steps together. You're supposed to start off with the 2-liter. You measure it, you want to cut it in half, and the 2-liter I had was roughly about 12 inches, so 6 inches was the halfway point. So off camera, I went ahead and cut this into 2 pieces. You probably need a box cutter for it. I thought at first I could just cut them with these massive kitchen shears I have, but I actually had to start it with a box cutter just to kind of scar it and maybe poke a few holes, and then I was able to cut the rest of it. So do whatever you like to cut it. So now you've got your 2 halves. What you're going to put in this half is, which I've already boiled, you can probably see the steam come off it, 1 1/3 cup water. You put that in the bottom of the 2-liter. Then you add to that a 1/4 cup, which I've already pre-measured here, of brown sugar. And if it comes out, just be careful not to splash it on yourself. Now, I read you can either stir it up if you want, or you don't have to. It'll probably break down itself. But you stir that together and then wait till it cools for the next step, which will be adding in the yeast. And I'll be back for that as soon as this cools, probably about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll go to step number 3 of making a mosquito trap. Okay, hi, I'm back. The brown sugar and water has cooled. It's been about 15 minutes, not quite 20. And now what you're supposed to do is mix in a gram, it said, of yeast. I got the fast rise yeast, but it's whatever you can pick up at the grocery store. Now, because we don't do measurements with grams, I had to do a conversion, and actually 4 teaspoons or 4 grams equals a teaspoon. So since it's asking for 1 gram, you just divide it by 4, and that means it's roughly like 1/4 of a teaspoon. So I measured out in that packet 1/4 of a teaspoon. So now you're supposed to dump that into the brown sugar. Now it said you can or can't, don't have to stir it up. I'm going to stir it up a little bit and see what happens. I don't know if I see anything happening in there. It just looks like a bunch of, smells weird though, pew. Okay, next thing now, you're supposed to take the top of your 2-liter and rest it in there. And I think I might have not cut this quite right because it's dipping into the water, and there needs to be some space for the mosquitoes to get in there to get to it. So I'm gonna have to like kind of jerry-rig this a bit. So I already made some pre-made cut tape, pieces of duct tape. I'm just gonna stick around here to hold it up some to make a space. And then what I'll do is I'll go back around it again to secure it and make sure there isn't any air so the mosquitoes don't see a side gap so they can get out of it. But at least it's up off the water by a little bit. The idea is that the mosquitoes will fly down inside there, but they won't understand how to fly back. And that is how, apparently, you trap mosquitoes. So you can pre-measure how many cut pieces of tape you want. I just did about 3 around. Now I'll just go around and just secure it again. And that should be good. And then we're going to find out if this really works, because I'll just put it out on my porch area, because that seems like when I come in from outside, man, they're like dive bombing you. It's going to either be there or somewhere on my patio, but oh, it's horrible. Thanks to all this rain, the heat, and humidity, I swear. We're like a meal ready to go for all the mosquitoes. Shoot, I should have brought a knife to rip this. Ow. My fingers are not doing a too bad a job. I just don't want to dump my stuff. There we go. Well, all right. So there you have a mosquito trap. Still a little warm, as you can see the condensation there, but we'll put it out and see, does this really work? Well, I just put the mosquito trap out here on my porch. As you can see, I turned the porch light on. It's starting to get a little dusky. But I do have a lot of mosquitoes that were dive bombing me as I was trying to get in through the door. So I'm going to set it here, and we're going to find out if it works. Let's hope so. Fingers crossed. I set this out for about 3 days. And I didn't seem to catch any mosquitoes, but look at all the flies that thing caught. I'm going to have to change the solution, and I'll see if it'll catch mosquitoes. But for now, this mosquito trap is actually a really great fly trap. Who knew? Now you can try it and see if it works for you.